everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart and welcome to my channel. And today we're doing another Lazy Susan by IKEA. I have this one and one more to do that are from 2014's Warpy batch that I'm trying to get through. So my solution for the Warpy batches is to resin them, pre-resin them. So I had some junky resin that I had available, and I decided I am going to just use this resin, hopefully give myself assurance. And based on the last one I did, it turned out perfectly. So a quick interlude here to show you how this chintzy resin off Amazon from 5 years ago laid, and to illustrate the point that your resin choice is important. Not all resin is created the same, and it won't work the same. Now, these are two Lazy Susans I have still left over from last year when I had my warp crop that I have finally resorted to just putting resin on the top to make them so that they are going to be resilient to warping with the paint pour. Now, I knew this resin was not very good because I got it off Amazon before I knew anything about fluidart, before anything. And I just want to show you. It's going to accomplish the purpose, which is to put a top coat seal before I do a fluid art creation on there. But I just want to get you up close to show you that not all resin is created the same. Pound for pound, dollar for dollar, this is probably the same amount of money I spent on KS resin. But look at how horrible this is. Look at the divots in there. See the divots? I don't know if the light's catching it right. And then just some weird, you probably can't see it, but there's just some weird marking in there. That's from the resin. Look at the edge. Horrible. Horrible. Now, this Lazy Susan, I hadn't done anything prior to putting the coat of resin. This one I had primed. Look at the divots in this. This is primed already. Now, I went ahead and put resin on it because I just wanted to get rid of the resin, use it up, and I wanted to assure myself I wasn't going to have any problem with pouring on it and having it warp like it has been doing. But look at that. Horrible. If you want to know what resin it is, you can email me. My email is in the description. I'm not going to badmouth this resin company publicly because the resin is just a craft resin and it's not fair. But I will say again, the KS resin liquid stone UV, high UV resistant that I use is the bomb. It is the best. I don't ever have to deal with anything like this. So I just want to share that with you guys. Your resin that you choose is important. And if you think you're going to save a buck by getting a less expensive resin, you may end up paying for it in the end by having to deal with the problem. All right, so we're going to get started here. So I've got, first color I'm going to be using is Modern Masters Venetian Blue, and that is combined with the metallic blue from Artist Loft. And it made a difference. I started out with just the Venetian blue, and it gave me that spray painty look. I added the Artist Loft, turned out perfect. This color here is Amsterdam's Sky Blue Light. This next color here is my gold combo, 24 karat with Golden's iridescent gold. My next color is my quinacridone Nicolazo gold combo with TLP Zeus. Next color is Rust-Oleum's, which I guess is it's a Modern Masters color, Sky Harbor Sky. And the last color is Carbon Black. So there we go. All right, we're gonna get started here. I may or may not put on some music, we'll see. My pillow, we're gonna lay this down first. The back is prepped with tape. I see something going in. This is always a function of getting to the bottom of the barrel. Be careful at the bottom of the container, you often get chunks in it. You may or may not have a couple extra fines as we go. I sure hope I have enough. I'm gonna go and fast forward here. If I don't have enough, I have a backup can ready to go. All right, I'm gonna go over my color, lay my colors down. This is the metallic blue combination with the sky Venetian blue. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous color. I want to make sure I put enough down. I want this to represent. I was amazed at the difference between just going with this Rust-Oleum by itself and then adding the metallic blue, and what a difference it made. It's amazing. You've really got to play with your colors. Even, you know, there's so much I don't know myself. But I know what I like, and I know I didn't like the effects I was getting with just the Venetian blue. So I thought, oh, let me try a color, adding a color to it that has a little more, that is opaque. That's why I picked the metallic blue, because blues, if you know, are typically not opaque. They're usually transparent. This is my gold. I might go on fast forward through all this. I'm going to go on fast forward here as I lay down the rest of the colors. Now, I got my American Floetrol cell activator over here. I'm going to add it. I'm going to blow out with my mouth, and then I'm going to blow with my Berta that I got off Amazon several years ago. They don't have this anymore, but it's 1,000 watt. So that's what's important, and it has a cool setting. I'll be blowing this out on high and cool. And I always clear the deck first to make sure I don't have anything I'm going to be blowing around. So, I also have a step stool. I'm going to get the step stool ready. We're going to get going here. Lay down the titanium white. And then the black, oxide black. I'm linking above here video 141, which is my American Floetrol cell activator recipe, where I show you how I make it and all the ingredients. White. Black. There we go. So I'm blowing straight down into the cell activator here to get it to open up in as much of a circle as possible and form a little ridge that I'm going to aim my hair dryer at in a second. I'm going to stop right there. I always said this before. I always have the tendency to want to keep going. I have to resist that tendency to want to keep blowing, but I am going to blow with my mouth maybe, or maybe with a straw. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I want to get this out a little bit more because that'll never reach the edge. So I can spin till the cows come home, and that would probably never reach the edge. So that's why I'm blowing with a straw here to kind of seal up that negative space and blow it out a little bit just to get it a little closer to the edge. So I'll have some negative space in the end, but I won't have a big gaping gap there. Blow in the middle. This is stunning. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous. I'm hoping that darker blue is going to come in here and that black is going to fill in from the back. This is my least favorite part right here. But this whole section, oh my gosh, that's going to all spin out. When I say spin out, it's all going to, it's all going to fill in. Now I'm going to just stretch this to the edge, and then we'll be ready to go. I'll go on fast forward here, or skip ahead. All right, here we go. So I'm going to clear off some of this a little bit. I'm a mess. And we're going to give this a spin. Here we go. Gentle spin to start, just to get it to stretch. Want to make sure it's stretching all the same time in all directions. Trying to balance out this stretch, as you can see by that movement. Just keep it going. So as we go along here, now that I've got the composition down, it's just a matter of stretching this out, and I'll probably skip ahead through some of the spinning as we go. This is going to be a problem right there. But you know what? I might have a little extra negative space. That's going to be fine. Let me make sure I've got all the sides at least covered. I do, so let's just keep going. And I'm going to skip through some of this stretching, because you don't need to see me spin until you're into a hypnosis state. But as long as I've got space on all sides, it's not going to be a horrible situation. And you know what? A little pillow paint on this darker color palette might be just fine. I got a couple white spots coming up, so I'm going to take care of them before I go too far. And if you're newer here, the white spots are caused by the paint below kind of burping up into the colors and then leaving a white spot. Meantime, I'm going to put away some of my paints over here, so I'm going to be done for the day. Oh, this is really pretty. All right, I'm going to add a little, play around with the palette knife just a little bit. I'm going to take a second here, take a break. So now that the composition is mostly stretched out, now it's just a matter of focusing on the negative space that I want to fill in a little bit with some of the paint using the palette knife. So here I'm doing a little bit of scooping and dragging. It's a little bit late in the game to be doing this because most of it's stretched out, but I am able to do some here. Spin. And then we're going to check the depth. And then I think we're going to be done. I love it all except for this one little blue spot that is just a little out of place. I don't know what I did there. I'm going to have to watch that back and see what happened there. I'm going to check the middle. So I always check the depth in the middle and make sure I've spun off enough paint so I know it's going to dry okay. We are spun out for sure. All right, I'm gonna clean up the bottom. So I'm cleaning the bottom with my finger, and I'm pulling out and down, and I'm saving it in that little container for future pillows for other projects. I think I'll clean up the bottom off camera because it's gonna take me a little while. Don't want to bore you guys with this, and I will be back for a wet result overhead. So everyone, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Here are the wet results. And of course, as usual, I always show you the final resined result. Just want to remind you to check out my description for some of the links I have to some of the products I use, to include KS Resin with a discount code. and also some of the more educational, useful type tutorials you might find as well. And if you're new here or not subscribed yet, please join me by subscribing, hitting the bell and all. You'll get all my latest art tutorials. I focus a lot on functional art, like these lazysusans, coasters, clocks, jars, wine glasses, even yo-yos. So that's about all I have for now, everybody. If you can please leave a comment and a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you're able to hype the video, I'd really appreciate that as well. That's all I have for now, everybody. Take care. Till next time.